voice of the people. Voice of the people. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM.
Passam. After all, monkey smart now because tree near tree is a forest. Heritage International go use the technology of computer testing machine to see and know before attacking that your health condition. We don't become ugbarugba for your life with the correct treatment. Therefore, whether definition or without definition, make you visit Herbal Heritage International offices way near you. Herbal Heritage International. Now you.
Hello and welcome to the program Roots and Herbs. Roots and Herbs is a program that discusses health-related challenges and suggests possible ways out from the herbal medicine perspective. Roots and Herbs is put together and sponsored by Herbal Heritage International, also known as Baba Yoruba. Baba Yoruba is currently having a special New Year promo package. This New Year promo package will give you the opportunity to enjoy 50% discount on all their products and services. This offer runs while the stock lasts. And at the same time, it will give you the privilege of meeting Baba Yoruba himself at number 24 Ikwere Road, Mile 1 by Education Bus Stop, Port Harcourt. For details and inquiries, the telephone number to call is 080-33-111-946. I repeat, 080-33-111-946. 080-33-111-946. Our topic of discussion is infertility, and I have with me in the studio Dr. Otumba Abiodun. Sir, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Infertility is seen in couples whenever a man and a woman is able to stay together for at least 1 year, which is equal to 12 months, without being able to get pregnancy so that they can get fruit of the womb. It is of two types. We have primary infertility, and the second one is called secondary infertility. Primary infertility is seen when a man and a woman have stayed together for at least a year and they are unable to conceive. But in secondary infertility, a man and a woman have been able to have issues or to have even only one, but they intend to get more, which is not forthcoming. That is secondary infertility. So whenever there is infertility, it is very important for the two to join hands together and go for investigations. What makes a man the father of any child is the quality of the semen coming from the man. That a man is able to perform doesn't make him the father of any child. What is coming from a man is gotten from the testicles. In some men, the number of sperm cells can drop, a situation that we call oligospermia. In some, the cells may not even be there at all, a situation that is called azoospermia. Some men do experience a situation where what is coming from them is nothing but only water. All the qualities are not there. There are many factors that can make a man to come under these conditions, part of which is drug abuse. There are some medications that some men do take that are spermicidal. That is, they are killers of the cells that makes a man the father of any child. Not only this, it is possible when a man is exposed to very high temperature, particularly the private part, for the cells to die or get weakened. And that is why the nature in his species did not put the testicles inside our abdomen, because the process of spermatogenesis does not require very high temperature. That is why they are kept in the sac under there, so that the temperature can be a mild one. Not only this, infections that men have suffered from, whether in the past or in the recent, can also destroy all the cells. Even some before their puberty, if they suffer from mumps infection, a viral infection, it can destroy all the tissues that are supposed to produce the cells. Some do suffer from sexually transmitted infections that have been able to get deep into the testicles and destroy all the cells. At times, hormonal imbalance can also affect the quality of semen a man produces. All this can make the man to be the cause of infertility in his family. In women, it is possible for challenges to also result from infection. Infections that are poorly treated in women can make a woman to suffer from serious lower abdominal pains, which can spread upward and tend to block the fallopian tube. In some women, drug abuse can be the challenge. Some women, without even having any issue, they take to lifestyle of taking contraceptives, pills, or injections that they use to prevent pregnancy without having any issue. And these can cause hormonal imbalance and disrupt all their fertility profile to the extent that when the time comes that they have the desire for this, they may not be able to get it. Not only this, some have done repeated abortions that perforate the uterus, or the uterus has been destroyed, all the layers are not complete again. Under that condition, when a woman conceives, in less than 8 weeks, it will drop. Some have fibroids, a mass growing inside the lumen of the uterus that is not giving enough space for pregnancy to grow to maturity. And that's why we say, under this condition, we have to first agree on how to get out of the challenge. And how do one get out of challenge? It is by visiting a competent healthcare giver who will be able to do investigations and know what the root cause of the problem is. It may be from man, it may be from the woman of the house, and at times it can be from both of them. But once the root cause of the challenge is determined, the way out will not be far-fetched. Anytime there is infertility in families, we do advise that mutual understanding is very important. For more enlightenment and advice, the number you can call is 080-33-111-946. 080-33-111-946. I repeat, 080-33-111-946. Thank you.
All right. You've been listening to the program Roots and Herbs. Roots and Herbs is a program that discusses health-related challenges and suggests possible ways out from the herbal medicine perspective. Roots and Herbs is put together and sponsored by Herbal Heritage International, also known as Baba Yoruba. Baba Yoruba is currently having a special New Year promo package. This New Year promo package will give you the opportunity to enjoy 50% discount on all their products and services. This offer runs while the stock lasts. And at the same time, it will give you the privilege of meeting Baba Yoruba himself at number 24 Ikwere Road, Mile 1 by Education Bus Stop, Port Harcourt. For details and inquiries, the telephone number to call is 080 33 111 946. I repeat, 080 33 111 946. 080 33 111 946. Let's take our sponsor's message. Don't go away. We shall be right back.
Herbal Heritage International, the Kokoroko, for herbal medicine, where they produce strong, correct medicine, they take the support with country healthcare system. Kotliman, correct bakelistic Ogbonge herbal medicine, they know they come out for public anyhow like a big basket. Full ground as every Christmas have been boundary. Sickness self sabi medicine will pass them. After all, monkey smart now because tree near tree is a forest. Heritage International go use the technology of computer testing machine to see and know before attacking that your health condition. We don't become Obarumba for your life with the correct treatment. Therefore, whether definition or without definition, make you visit Herbal Heritage International. Offices way near you. Herbal Heritage International. Now
You're welcome back to Roots and Herbs. Roots and Herbs is a program that discusses health-related challenges and suggests possible ways out from the herbal medicine perspective. Baba Yoruba is currently having a special New Year promo package. This New Year promo package will give you the opportunity to enjoy 50% discount on all their products and services. This offer runs while the stock lasts. And at the same time, it will give you the privilege of meeting Baba Yoruba himself at number 24 Ikwere Road, Mile 1 by Education Bus Stop, Port Harcourt. For details and inquiries, the telephone number to call is 080 33 111 946. I repeat, 080 33 111 946. 080 33 111 946. Until we come your way again, remain blessed.
And that was a paid infomercial.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Get ready to feel the rhythm, the groove, and the true vibes of Africa. This is not just music. This is high life. From the legends to the latest, we're bringing you the best of palm wine grooves, jazzy horns, and soul-stirring melodies. There was a sound that told our stories, a rhythm that made our fathers dance and our mothers smile. Welcome to The Thrill, a musical journey through time where legends live on and new stars shine. Join us from Mondays to Thursdays, 9 p.m. on Today 95.1 FM for the ultimate high life musical show. Don't just listen, feel the music. High life lives here.
and years passes by. Anyway, I decided to stand to do the show today. If you're watching live on YouTube, consider I'm standing. Yeah, I had a lot of activities to do today and I'm a bit stressed, but one thing is certain. I'm just going to put this out there. You will always focus on what pays you, right? This is me focusing on what pays me. Minding my business and focusing. Okay, I don't know about minding my business, because sometimes I'm in people's business. That's the news. Yes, that's the business I'm in. When I say I'm in people's business, I don't mean like, putting my eyes and nose where it's not supposed to be. The news, that's the business that I put my mind or I put my mouth in. But yes, it's just that. Focus on what pays me and mind my business. And you should do that too. I mean, focus on what pays you this year. Focus on what brings money to you, what pays your bills. Yes, focus on that. And, stay out of trouble and mind your business. That's the word I'm putting out there for you today, listening to me the 7th day of the month of January 2026. Nobody will put their mouth in your business. But the moment you decide to bring it out to the public to talk about or bring it out for us to hear and see, it becomes a matter that everyone has an opinion and they're free to share their opinion on it. Now, it's about a pastor who there's been controversy about with an actress that allegedly accused the pastor of using her, dumping her after many years, some other immoral accusations that she put out there concerning the pastor. But we're not going to go right on the backstory and all of the side stories. We're just going to focus on the one that happened yesterday, or that is on ground from yesterday to today. Yeah, that will be our focus. So you can go read up the backstory of that news to understand better. But yeah, this said pastor has turned himself in, or surrenders himself to the police. Yeah, according to the report, he surrenders himself to the police. It's titled Embattled Pastor Chris Okafor. Some persons might be familiar with the name, other persons may not be familiar, but if you are, okay. Embattled Pastor Chris Okafor surrenders to the police. Now, he is the senior pastor of Mountain of Liberation and Miracle Ministries. Chris Okafor has turned himself in to the police following allegations of multiple rape and other offenses capable of causing a breach of public peace. Now, I personally do not like to talk about matters that concerns, religion or religious matters. So we're not taking it from the religious angle or from the angle of the holy book or religion. We're taking it from the angle of the public and the society. We know that society has a certain reverence, not reverence in quotes, there's a certain way society looks at people in positions like this: pastors, spiritual leaders, evangelists, prophets, spiritual leaders in general. There's the way society looks at them with a certain awe or reverence, look up to them, especially their worshippers, members of their church or their group or their flock. And now there's a certain standard that society expects from or of spiritual leaders. If you're leading a certain people, there is a standard that you should put out there for the society, because you are in a position, I don't want to say an exalted position, but you're in a position where people look up to you, people revere you, people look at you in awe. So your conduct and your way of life should reflect it. Should reflect the position that you occupy, that spiritual position. And so your conduct should also, you should bear in mind that however you act, whatever you do, the society, looks at it with scrutiny. The society puts glasses on to look at your behavior. Some other persons may do something and get away with it, or the society may not really frown at it. But the moment you are in the position or on the seat of a spiritual leader, the tag spiritual leader, your actions, your carriage, whatever you do, the society looks at it more with scrutiny, because they have this idea that as you are there leading people, you should not do whatever that will cause someone to stumble. You shouldn't do something that will cause another person or people that you're leading to fall. You shouldn't do things that society will say, I thought this person is a spiritual leader. Why is this person behaving like this? Why would this person do this? Why should this person act this way or do this? Why should things like this be said of this person? So you understand where this is coming from now, the public and society. Now, the senior pastor of Mountain of Liberation and Miracle Ministries, Chris Okafor, has turned himself into the police following allegations of multiple rape and other offenses capable of causing a breach of public peace. The Lagos State Police Command said the case has reportedly been handed over to the Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 2, Sylvester Alabi. The development comes after Okafor failed to honor a police invitation on Monday. Okay. Now, the development comes after Okafor, Pastor Chris Okafor, failed to honor a police invitation on Monday despite being invited on Sunday by the State Criminal Investigation Department, PANTI, over the allegations. Several allegations of rape, against him, and multiple rape allegations and offenses. These are the allegations against him. In an interview on Wednesday, Lagos State Commissioner of Police CP Oluhundare Jimo said when he was invited, that's the said pastor now, when he was invited to go, he got to us through his lawyer that he would be appearing on Monday. So on Monday, we waited for him. We did not see him, and I directed that he should be arrested. Subsequently, he showed up yesterday, Tuesday. Yes, he showed up yesterday. Okay. Jimo added that the matter had been transferred to Zone 2 for further investigation. We later learned that the same matter had been opened at Zone 2 headquarters with Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 2, which I needed to verify, and verified the same. And he told me that the matter has been investigated under his command for about 3 weeks now. Okay, so the AIG occupies a higher office than... what's going on with this thing now? And a commander and is my immediate supervisor since he's into the matter. So we handed the matter back to the zone, he explained, addressing the complaints from alleged victims. So there's been complaints of victims that, that brought the allegations, several offenses and rape. The complaints, they said, the CP said that social media has become a veritable space. I mean, when I started, I said for like 3 weeks, this controversy has been going on since December, even into January. And social media has done its beat. There's been posts and narrations and videos about this, issue and these allegations. There's been a said actress who came online to make videos talking about these same allegations, before now in December. And the CP said that for people to lodge their complaints, we no longer wait for people to come and see the matter before we act in public interest. Because if we don't, the conduct can lead to a breakdown of law and order. Now, this controversy began in December, like I earlier said. And then it was brought online, mid-December, it was brought online, to the public. And multiple allegations against Pastor Okafor surfaced online. Now, Nollywood actress Dr. Doris Ogala accused the pastor of a long-term sexual relationship dating back to 2017. The actress came online to say that the pastor has been in a relationship with her for a long time, claiming that he broke promises of marriage. She said the pastor promised her marriage, and they've been dating for a long time, since 2017 to 2025. And he broke the promise of marriage to her, shared explicit content that, I don't even want to talk about, and contributed to the collapse of her previous marriage. She was married before she started dating this said pastor for a long time. He promised her marriage, and then he broke the promise, and he never got married to her. So she came on to talk about her own grievances, amongst the other, allegations tendered against the pastor. The public outcry reportedly addressed the congregation on December 28, 2025, apologizing. Now, the said pastor apologizing for his mistakes and kneeling at the pulpit to seek for forgiveness. In December, towards the end of the year, he made public apologies to his church followers, and he knelt down to seek for forgiveness in his church. Reports also suggest that the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, PFN, is considering disciplinary action against him, while the pastor has stepped aside from his pastoral duties. As investigations continue. Now, investigations are ongoing on the matter. If really the complaints and all the allegations tendered against him of several rape allegations and offenses, if they are true, if they are real, and if he is guilty of these allegations, put forward before him. Now, the question I'm asking on this public controversy now is, what do you think about it? Now, I'm not putting this out there for you to now judge and say, oh, a pastor's doing this, and a human, if it's another person doing this, oh, it's okay, but a pastor doing this, it's a no-no. I mean, allegations like this should not even be said. Whether you're a pastor, you are a normal person, rape allegations are really severe and serious. So it has nothing to do with a religious person or a normal person. Allegations of rape should not even be heard. It is a very serious crime, right? But I just want to know what your opinion is, because it's something that is brought to the public. Yeah. And there's also the part of, if you're occupying a spiritual position, your conduct affects the society. More than it affects you, you should bear in mind that your conduct, your behavior, your actions rubs off on the society, has an effect on the society, not just the people that you're leading and not just you. So if you're occupying a certain position, you should be careful, how you act, what you do, how you behave, because the society looks up to you. Certain people, there are people that looks up to the said pastor now in his congregation. How would they feel, with all of these controversies that their spiritual leader, there are several allegations of rape and several allegations of offenses, promises of marriage broken, dating someone, and that led to the collapse of the person's marriage. It's just a lot of things and a lot of controversial issues. Investigation is going on. So until it is proven that, these allegations are true and he's guilty, then we can now say, this is it, and this is what, the punishment that he would be given according to the law. Yeah. But I want to get your opinion on this matter. Something that is this public. What do you think? What do you think about this matter? I see calls coming in already. I'll definitely open the phone lines to hear what you. At this point, I don't even know. I don't even know what to think or what to say about it, or an opinion, to give. But I just want to hear you talk, your opinions on the matter, your reaction to the matter. What do you think of this? But that'll be after the song break for 5 minutes. When we get back from that song break for 5 minutes, I'll open the phone lines and take all the messages that I can and as much calls as I can up until the hour of 10 p.m. Please stay with me. All right, I'm back from that song break, and it's time to take your calls to open the floor and open the phone line to hear you talk, to all of us. 08109510951. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, my dear.
Yes, please, welcome.
Thank you. My question is, before all these allegations,
Yeah.
is it not as the man just got married? No, he's Clinton, calling from Port Harcourt.
Okay.
Yeah, all the allegations, is it not after the man got married?
Yeah.
Where were all these allegations before the man got married?
That's another thing.
My dear, all those people go and rest in the highest bush in the village. That is their position.
Okay.
Are you getting me?
All right.
They are trying to find way and get the man image because their goals will not accomplish at the end of the day. They are looking for a way now to get the man's marriage shattered. But God will not agree.
All right.
God will shame all of them.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your opinion on the matter. Thank you. All right. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Ronnie.
Yes, please. Welcome.
Yes. Did I hear you say that this woman was married?
According to the news, that the relationship she had with the said Pastor Chris Okafor led to the break of her previous marriage.
That means she was married before she was having an affair with the man of God.
Now, we don't even know details of that, but it could be. I mean, that's another angle.
No, thank you. That is it. A marriage might know that you are married. I decided to date the pastor. Please, this is rubbish, please. Good night.
All right. All right. It's how that thing he tries to put 2 and 2 together or 1 or 2 together, and it just made him like, I beg, this thing is not just, it shouldn't be heard. All right. 08109510951. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, please.
Yes, welcome.
Talking about the Chris Okafor's matter.
Yeah.
There are certain ingredients that the law will look at for a accusation of rape to be successfully sustained. So we'll be looking at certain things. First of all, these people, are they minors?
Okay. Do you mean the people accusing him of rape, or the person saying that he promised marriage and did not fulfill the promise?
Okay, there are many angles to this.
Yeah, there are lots of allegations, not just the actress accusing him. There's also, allegations of rape offenses. So when you're asking if they're minors, do you mean for that one or the other person dragging him?
Oh, for the rape angle.
Okay.
So the prosecution will be able to establish the fact that the elements to successfully prosecute rape against the Chris Okafor were established in the matter.
Okay.
So you see, that's the reason why a lot of persons will be refraining to come out to make accusations against him, because you can't say the man raped you. Meanwhile, you went to his house.
But but we have to understand something, that rape is rape. Whether you went to the person's house, whether the person invited you out, it does not mean or justify that someone should be raped because they came to see you.
Fine, but what were the attempts?
So if a person is accused of rape and is found guilty, the law would not say, did you go to the person's house? Okay, because you went there, then it is justifiable to be raped.
And for you to be found guilty, you'll be able to establish the ingredients of rape.
Yeah, that's why investigations are ongoing now. So until they are done with investigations, they will now tell us, the public, what the final judgment would be.
The woman who said he breached promise.
Yeah, of marriage after dating since 2017 till 2025.
Okay, at what point was the promise of marriage made? Because from the incident, from the narrative that was shared on the social media, this lady was in a marriage, a validly engaged marriage. Meanwhile, she was also having affairs outside her marriage, either directly or indirectly. She's an adult, and the person who is even supposed to prosecute this matter properly is the man who legally married her. Now noticing that even while she was in marriage with him, she was having affair both with there was a matter. They also mentioned she was having affair with one governor in the southeast and some other persons. Now the Chris Okafor too.
Yeah, so there are lots of things. There are lots of angles to look at it from. But yeah, thank you for sharing your opinion.
I really don't think that she can actually sustain the charge against the man successfully.
Thank you.
No, but for the man, the law, there is a slim connection between morality and the law. Now, what may be moral may not be lawful, or what may be illegal may also, on the side of morality,
Thank you.
May not be moral.
All right, got your point already.
So looking at these two things, the man is a religious leader. He has breached the trust people repose on him as a religious leader.
All right.
By all this. So the best people can do is to withdraw. His followers can decide personally to withdraw, not to be his member anymore.
Yeah, that's really up to them, though. But yeah, thank you for sharing your opinions on the matter. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Rona.
Yes, please. Welcome.
This matter where they grand. Not only one matter is just established. They say rape. Not only one actress I hear you call.
Because that's like the main allegations now that they're investigating.
Fine. Yeah, but not to even leak order because those ones said no even relevant.
Okay.
No name what they measured here.
Yeah.
So, yes. Then top of rape, man, even husband and wife, where they legitimate marriage, the 50 rape people come. Now agreement. Sometimes the wife people no agree, the man people no agree. First now rape.
Yeah, I mean, nothing justifies rape, even if you're married to the person.
Yes. So it's an agreement. Once there's no agreement, it's rape. But what me I try to talk here now, say, as far as say this one, I just only this woman, the one where just bring say.
Yeah, the complainants for those allegations of rape, their names were not mentioned yet because they're still investigating. But then there's the actress that's dragging that promised to marry me, dated me for many years, you broke my last marriage and stuff.
Thank you.
All right.
Now then I get interest on.
Okay.
When some say you dey married. If I need the actor, I go use you more than the way I ask for you because if I marry you, no, Rona, see, when say they my house, say they date me. What you go give me mind to come marry you? That means if I keep it for her, you go date other men.
Okay.
So I know if you wrong, what the man don't do there. If I talk not true.
All right. All right. Thank you for sharing your opinion. Hello. Good evening. Hello.
Hello, Rona. Good evening.
Yes, good evening. Welcome.
This is Chief Solomon.
Okay, go ahead, please.
This matter, I think Chris Okafor and Doris.
Yeah.
They are investigating the main matter now.
Mm-hmm.
You see, what happened is that woman, both of them, if Chris was a good pastor, he wouldn't have even attempted to approach to destroy, to spoil the marriage.
Yeah, have a relationship with someone that is married.
Yes. And that is number one. Number two, that lady was pregnant for him. They committed abortion. He has killed.
There's just a lot of things.
That, he was not the one that permitted the woman to remove the baby, to do the abortion.
All right.
But I don't know how much effort when he had that, when she told him that she was pregnant for him.
Yeah.
So what matters is that the church of God has also compromised. He has compromised in faith.
All right. And then the NPF, they said that they're going to do, have disciplinary actions for him. And according to the news, he also stepped down from his pastoral duties for the time being. So, we'll just have to follow up to see what becomes the end of it. But thank you for sharing your opinion. Someone mentioned something about if you are in a relationship with somebody and then you're married, and you're expecting the said person, or your marriage broke off. I don't know if they were dating and she was still married, or because of the relationship she broke off her marriage. But then she's accusing that you promised to marry me, and you're after all these years of wasting my time and my life, you go ahead to marry someone else. Let me say this, right? The idea of promising somebody that you marry the person and you have no plans of marrying that person is not good, though. There's also that one. Let's look at that aspect too, because promising a lady that you marry her and being with her for a long time, she would have met someone else or something. Now, apart from even this pastor's matter, normally as a man now, do not promise a lady that you marry the person if you don't have plans of marrying that person. If you're just with her for the time being, make it clear so someone will not accuse you later that you wasted my life and my time all these years of being with you and now you do not want to get married to me. Do we understand? Hello, good evening. Yes, welcome. All right, please, can you speak up a bit? Your voice is really low. I can hear you, but it's still a bit low.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Listen, the ladies
Yes, I can hear you.
But the pastors here, they do have erection like we as a men. They do get up as erection. They have sleep. They have emotion. They have control. So let us not be looking at them as if they are. Even the angels, when they came in and messed up, pastors woman be like, some of them go to pastors, complain and tell them a lot of their body, tell them our problems. Pastor get problems. Most of them, they tell him they will not. They are human beings. They are not good. This is the pastor. Fine. But that can leave your husband because of the pastor. You have done that now. To get married to someone else, live your life and not the pastor to do.
But there are damages that have been done now. If you want to look at it from that aspect of 2017 to 2025, that's how many years? I don't know the agreement they had, though, for the relationship, but she's coming out to say that, you broke a promise.
Now, let me tell you something. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
As I'm talking to you, I'm married. But I dated ladies before I got married.
Yeah.
And when I got married, I decided to take myself and live a particular style of life.
Yeah. Yes.
Most of us that are talking, we all have most people that got married. If they are not when they get married, men.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. You've made your point. Okay.
Okay, you don't live your life. Somebody can wake up to go and change. That is the right thing.
All right. That's okay. Thank you. You've given your opinion and got it. The time runs so fast. I can't believe that it's almost 10 and I have to wrap up exactly 10 p.m. Let me take a message or two, and then if I can take one more call, just a minute. This one says, good evening to you, Lady Rona. I'm Mary of Jesus from Port Harcourt. Let the truth be told, what the pastor did is very bad. Lastly, is there any rape case against him? If not, as for long time relationship, it's 50-50. It suits me, it suits you. God help us all. This one says, good evening, Rona. How are you? Happy New Year. Happy New Year special to you. Thank you so much. Vincent Wuzi Chokochoeche. To me, I don't see anything in this matter because a married woman should not allow herself to be used in such a way. Though some of the pastors we have nowadays are not worthy to be called men of God, both of them are guilty. Thanks and God bless you, Vincent Wuzi Chokochoeche. I'm not sure I can take any more calls. I am sorry. It's already 10 p.m. and I'm not sure that you'll be able to wrap up in 60 seconds, or can you give your opinions in 60 seconds? Let's see. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, you just have 60 seconds. It's almost 10 p.m. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. Only what I'm just trying to say is that legally,
the
rape case against the pastor not to the light of any day, because
all right,
the case of rape
have
a time frame within which it will be reported to the police station before action is taken.
Yeah.
So, neither here nor there. The event has overtaken the rape case.
All right.
Let me hold it here. Let us watch and see how it
Yeah,
goes.
let's see the investigations that go on. Thank you so much for being very brief on that one. I appreciate you. Thank you all so much for your calls and contributions on the matter. We'll only have to see, how the investigations go and what will be the final judgment of the said case. Yes, this is where we'll wrap up the thrill. Keep a date with me tomorrow again, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. for another round of talk on this Today 95.1 FM. My name is Rona. Agbara.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today, 95.1 FM.
This is Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News.
A very good evening to you. This is the World News in a Premium Talk Radio. Today, 95.1 FM Port Harcourt. I'm Rona Agbara. First, the headlines. FCT Minister Wike accuses Governor Fubara of weaponizing poverty. Court grants 500 million naira bail to Malami, his wife and son. Atiku raised alarm over alleged democratic threats in Nigeria by Tinubu-led administration. On the foreign scene, Central African Republic invites Russian President Putin to discuss relations. Details shortly. The FCT Minister Nyesom Wike has accused River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara of deliberately cancelling the 1,000 job initiative to weaponize poverty in the state. Wike, who made this known during the State Council tour to Ahoda East, asked why the 10,000 jobs initiative by the past administration was cancelled and no other alternative has been implemented. He, however, noted the economic and societal importance of employment, stressing that it will help reduce restiveness in the society.
We must live and let live. We must forgive one another. If you don't forgive, then you cannot achieve any result. So I want to say today, in the 7th of January 2026, everybody under umbrella led by Dr. Kuchukudon Uchi, the council chairman, Solomon Bob, all of you benefit. You know, some of you say you emulated it. I don't see what you emulated it. You only emulated me when I come here. Emulate me when I go. Practice what I practice. Don't come under here where you see me, we learn from you. Show it here, you learn from me. That's why all of us are working together.
The FCT minister also called for peace amongst politicians in Ahoda East while acknowledging Prince Chibudom Uche as the political leader of the local government. He also called for good political leadership style, stressing that it should be geared towards internal peace, collaboration, and structural sustenance.
So many projects we embarked upon in Ahoda East in particular. But for me, what's the most important is remember there's only one stool That was first class. And that was the school of so many people were afraid to recognize other schools here. I said, no, I must recognize more schools in the American. Today, they are the highest.
Meanwhile, a Port Harcourt-based legal practitioner, Victor Oroko, has faulted claims by some politicians in Rivers State that the governor must keep to agreement before he will be allowed to peacefully govern or rerun. It would interest you to know that the FCT Minister Yinson Wike and former Caretaker Committee Chairman of the People's Democratic Party in the state, Robinson Namewo, had in a recent time insisted that Governor Siminalayi Fubara should make known and keep the agreement reached to enable genuine peace. However, Oroko, in an interview to the FM Uchendu Ejowo, said the demands of the FCT Minister and Namewo has no place in law as it concerns the governance in Rivers State, insisting that their demands should be on personal note, not what should affect the governance of the state. The Social Democratic Party governorship candidate in the state in 2023 elections, Oroko, advised those demanding for implementation of agreement to sheath their sword and allow governance.
We are talking about Rivers State that belongs to me, and the only agreement that is known to law is the ballot paper and encountered from the ballot box. You can't enter agreement for me. Legally speaking, morally speaking, traditionally speaking, that agreement is of nowhere. It does not have any effect in law. Shouldn't to run election. My family and I had an agreement with the governor to run for second term. He must run for a second term, but deal it in the ballot box in 2027. And forget about the cheap blackmail of agreement and so on.
Rivers State Police Command has continued to receive criticism over the handling of the attack on a Rise TV crew and a prominent son of Ogoni ethnic nationality, Lelonu Nwebibasa. The Director General of the Rivers Liberation Movement, Randolph Iwo Brown, in a reaction to the attack, wondered why television equipment that were seized by the attackers will be recovered without any arrest by the police. Iwo Brown called on the River State Commissioner of Police, Olugbenga Adepoju, to immediately arrest and prosecute the attackers and their sponsors. He cautioned against political violence ahead of the 2027 general election in River State.
They should investigate and give us results. It will not be right that they have recovered the cameras that were seized from the Rise television and have not made any arrest. And we demand and ask, as a matter of urgency, for the Commissioner of Police to make an arrest and, if possible, prosecute all those concerned in this heinous crime, because we cannot afford to go back to the evil days that happened in Port Harcourt and in River State in general. This is one of the things that we are going to pursue to a logical conclusion, that the police should do their work. But there should be no violence in the coming politics of 2027. We detest and go against any form of violence. We are going to look back. We will inspire the citizens to rise against such evil acts in the state, and we are mobilizing maximally to make sure that we stop it or we fight back.
On their arts, some other members of the Rivers Liberation Movement, which includes David Barry Kango, Juliet Laba, and Gabriel Oluka Inke, said the attack on Nwabubasa will not deter them from liberating the people of Rivers State during the 2027 general election.
We had expected a swift arrest, judging from the fact that the perpetrators, especially the mastermind of the unfortunate incident, has been identified. But up till now, there has been no arrest.
We are calling on all relevant agencies to come to our aid, because policies of intimidation will not thrive in River State. We are not afraid, we are not deterred at all to liberate River State from the shackles of these enemies.
We are totally upset. We are not happy about this, and we wish that the Commissioner of Police will put in more effort, at least to show that he's totally interested in the work.
By bringing to book the perpetrators of this ugly act, calling on the youths to desist from this act, not to allow themselves to become tools in the hands of politicians by making the future better for themselves.
The leadership of the Akpo or SPAC in Obiakpo local government area of River State has urged the State Police Command to carry out proper investigation to unravel the true incident that happened on the 5th of January 2026 at a bush between Rumekini and Alu communities. The General Secretary of Akpo or SPAC, Felix Ochoma, clarified that Akpo or SPAC will continue to collaborate with Nigerian police to ensure a crime-free society. Ochoma explained that the incident that happened on the 5th of January, saying that following information about armed thugs in a bush between Rumekini and Alu, The OSPAC visited the scene with the intention of ensuring peace before they were attacked by alleged armed thugs. The Secretary General of Akpo OSPAC, while dismissing allegation of OSPAC hiring thugs to invade a land, revealed that after they left the scene and returned to their barrack, police personnel with armed thugs invaded their office at Rumosi, firing direct shots on OSPAC members, a situation he condemned.
As long as the life of OSPAC in general is concerned, we do not have any problem with police because they are professional security and we are local security. But in this case, we are a little bit confused because we can't imagine that we are fighting criminal elements. What ordinarily is supposed to be their job as professionals, and then they are at the same time coming after us. We acted based on information that was prominent to us the day we were having our meeting in one of our barracks there at Rumusi. Though this thing has been on since, but we have been investigating it. We now swinged into that place. We entered into that place immediately. Our primary aim of entering there was not to go and cause any public distraction or.
Felix Ochoma, while raising alarm over the disappearance of 4 OSPAC members who he said are not in police custody, expressed concern that the action of police against the OSPAC has strengthened criminal elements against innocent citizens.
After then, we even took the guy. We took him. We brought him out and we took him to the hospital. But we are surprised why we went back to our office wanting to report what we witnessed. The police just came. And the moment they came, they started shooting at us. They didn't even give us any fair hearing. Invite us officially. They also apprehended some of our OSPAC members. As I'm talking to you now, the hoodlums are now hiding under the umbrella of the police, causing more disaster to us. And 4 of our members are missing. And information prominent to us is revealing that they are not even in the police custody.
On his part, the General Commander of Akpo OSPAC, Azubike Amadi, popularly called Ocean, who is reported to be on the watch list of Rivers State Police Command, expressed in details what transpired and urged Commissioner of Police to carry out independent investigation. Ocean expressed worries that rather than the police praising their efforts in assisting the fight against crime and criminality, OSPAC members are now at the receiving end, including the destruction of the vehicle and arrest of its members.
Why the Akpo Kingdom bring us is because of insecurity in Akpo, and they work with the information. So when we got the information, we just go there. We got information that some hoodlums along Rumekini, farmland. That is why we go to verify before we get there. Before they get there, my people was calling me. They started shooting them at me, particularly Amadi Azibike aka Ocean. I was not there. So based on that, when I got those information, I said, okay, I don't want problem. If it is like that, you people should come back. We did not adopt anybody since 2019 to date. I did not adopt anybody. They should try and see how they will rectify this issue. OSPAC did not go there and drag any land. I'm not from Rumekini. I'm not from Alo.
It would interest you to know that River State Police Command yesterday announced the arrest of 12 members of the local vigilante and planned arrest of other members of the local security outfit, including their commander, Azubike Amadi, popularly called Ocean, over alleged hiring of thugs and misuse of guns, amongst others. In another development, a victim of the attack at Unity Estate in Umbodoalu, Stephen Macha, has recounted his ordeal after he was kidnapped and shot by gunmen. Speaking from his hospital bed where he is receiving treatment for a gunshot wound that shattered his leg, Macha described how the incident happened and named those behind the attack. He alleged that some individuals have been using his name to defraud people, further fueling crisis between communities.
I am in hospital bed with a bullet-sustained injury. Public has been deceived by some rhetorics from Omakolim and Makolimihu and Patrick Akando with other of their cohorts who have deceived. No Rumekini man that cannot attest that when they went to that land, they saw some surveyors, they saw some fences. Ask Rumekini person if they didn't bring all those fences down. This land belongs to doctors. So I am only telling the public they should not be deceived that Omakolim and cohorts, Patrick Akando and does not have land in that particular place.
Macha explained the controversy around the said land, alleging that the intentions of his assailant were to eliminate him.
It is quite unfortunate that my name was used as a front line to take money from people. When they sell land in that particular portion of land called Ebolu land, they use my name to sell land. So when I came back from Lagos, I realized that this land was said to have been sold by my name. I said, no, I relate with Mbodo people who happens to be OSPAC commander, and they conspired with other groups. Will I say they are security groups? No, no security personnel can act in this manner, coming to shoot me direct with live ammunition. Obakolen told Ocean to kill me, that the only how they can make peace and also invade the borderland is for them to eliminate me. That is why you see me here today, sustained with this, so many injuries, gunshot injury in that matter.
Recall that the River State Police Command had confirmed the arrest of 12 suspects linked to the commando-style invasion of the estate on January 5, 2026. The police, however, said that some key suspects, including the Akpo OSPAC commander, known as Ocean, Patrick Akandu, and Omakwelim Onu Ohuon Prince, are still at large. You're listening to the World News on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. After the break, more news, foreign and sports stories. Please stay with us.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today 95.1 FM.
Thanks for staying with us now, the rest of our stories. The Inyewali of Rumekini community in Nobiakpo local government area, His Royal Highness Eze Lois Amadi, has been reportedly attacked by suspected criminals within the community. The incident occurred this morning when the traditional ruler was allegedly assaulted alongside his driver by hoodlums within the community, and as a result of the attack, His Royal Highness sustained injuries and is currently receiving medical treatment at the hospital in Port Harcourt. Speaking from the hospital bed, the Inyewali, Eze Amadi, narrated his experience and appealed to relevant government authority and security agencies to urgently come to his rescue and protect the Rumekini community from further violence. The paramount ruler also expressed grave concern over the safety of his driver and another aide whose whereabouts remain unknown since the attack.
I'm begging federal government make them come to making. Police, I beg, make them come to making. You can no look anything. Follow matter as matter there. Now, I did bed now, but I never see my driver. I say make them no beat my driver. What did he do? Then say him be Ospak. Ospak, what did Ospak do? From there, they begin beat me. Seriously, now I did bed. Secondly, one, my driver I never see him. Obonda, Akadiri, Nana. So many of them, people can't recognize their name. They are there. They're there plenty. I don't know where my driver is up to now. Since where they beat me, it's worrying me for my chest.
Meanwhile, information available suggests that the same group of hoodlums allegedly responsible for the burning of the Ospak barracks in Rumekini community may be linked to the attack on the traditional ruler, raising serious security concerns in the area. Justice Emeka Nwite of the Federal High Court in Abuja has admitted former Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, SAN, to bail in the sum of 500 million naira pending his trial in the money laundering offences brought against him by the federal government. Malami is to produce 2 sureties who will stand for him in the like sum. Justice Emeka Nwite, in a ruling on bail application by Malami and 2 others today, ordered that the 2 sureties must have landed properties in Maitama, Asokoro, or Gwarimpa. The documents of the properties are to be verified by the Deputy Chief Registrar of the court, while the sureties are also to depose to affidavit of means. Malami is to deposit his traveling documents with the court and must not travel out of the country without the express permission of the court. Also, the former AGF and his sureties were also ordered to deposit their 2 recent passport photographs with me court. Meanwhile, Malami has been ordered to be remanded in Kuje prison pending his perfection of the bail conditions. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has warned that Nigeria's democracy is facing existential threats. Atiku accused President Bola Tinubu's administration of deliberately weakening opposition parties and shrinking democratic space in a manner that could lead to a de facto one-party state. In a statement signed by his spokesman, Paul Ibe, Atiku said Nigerians had endured nearly 3 years of severe economic hardship under the Tinubu-led government, alongside policies and political actions he claimed undermined democratic values. He said the ruling All Progressives Congress APC has pursued a calculated strategy that combines harsh economic decisions with political maneuvers to eliminate viable opposition, leaving the APC dominant by default, not by merit. He described the sustained erosion of opposition parties as one of the most disturbing developments under the current administration, stressing that democracy would not survive without strong and credible political alternatives. The former vice president alleged that forces aligned with the presidency were not attempting to destabilize the ADC by interfering in its internal affairs, particularly through public pressure and speculation over the party's choice of presidential candidate. On the foreign scene, the newly re-elected president of the Central African Republic, Faustin Archange Touadéra, has invited Russian President Vladimir Putin to visit the country. Moscow has become a key ally of Touadéra in recent years. In a video interview with TASS, Touadéra praised Putin as a great leader, noting that the Russian president is very attentive to relations with Bangui. Meanwhile, the Wagner Group commented on preliminary results through its Telegram channel, saying there is no doubt that the chosen course of maintaining order and peace will prevail. To end the news, here's a summary of the major stories. The FCT Minister Yinson Wike has accused River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara of deliberately cancelling the 1,000 job initiative to weaponize poverty in the state. Justice Emeka Nwite of the Federal High Court in Abuja has admitted former Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami, SAN, to bail in the sum of 500 million naira pending his trial in the money laundering offences. We told you that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has warned that Nigeria's democracy is facing existential threat. On the foreign scene, you also heard that the newly re-elected president of the Central African Republic, Faustin Archange Touadéra, has invited Russian President Vladimir Putin to visit the country. That was the news as edited by Sandra Kenneth. For comments and inquiries, please call 0818-389-2850 or send your emails to news@todayfmlive.com. You can read our stories on www.todayfmlive.com, on Facebook at Today95.1fm, on Instagram at TodayFM951, on X at TodayFM951. You can also join our YouTube live at Today95.1fm. I'm Rona Agbara. Thank you so much for listening. Have a very good evening.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Live from the Garden City of Port Harcourt, Nigeria. This is Today 95.1 FM.
Captain Ibrahim Traore seized power in 2022.
This is an opportunity for me to commend and acknowledge the highly commendable work of the intelligence services. Thanks to their professionalism, Burkina Faso has, for the 18th time, foiled attempts at destabilization.
And Uganda goes to the polls next week, but authorities are concerned over the spread of deepfake videos and photos made with AI during the campaign season.
If you look at the video, you could think it is actually true. His mouth is moving, but then you would see that there are certain features of his face that are distorted.
That's all on the BBC Tonight in Focus. First, the news.
Hello, I'm Neil Nunes with the BBC News. The United States says it has seized 2 oil tankers with connections to Venezuela. One that's reported to be empty of cargo was boarded in the North Atlantic. The U.S. Coast Guard had been pursuing it for weeks since intercepting it off the Venezuelan coast. During the chase, it changed its name and adopted a Russian flag. Paul Adams has the latest.
The company that owns the vessel was sanctioned under the previous Biden administration for its links to the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. And as we also know, in the last 24 hours or so, the Russians appear to have sent their own military assets to try and escort the vessel, including a submarine. So it's a pretty dramatic scene up there in the North Atlantic, with the US boarding and taking control of a Russian flag vessel. It changed its flag less than a month ago for the first time in recent memory.
The second vessel, which was carrying oil and sailing under a Cameroonian flag, was seized in the Caribbean. Beijing has accused Washington of threatening global energy security after President Trump said the interim authorities in Venezuela would turn over up to 50 million barrels of oil to the United States. China is the leading customer of Venezuelan crude. The Chinese Foreign Ministry accused the U.S. of bullying and said Beijing's legitimate rights and interests in Venezuela would be safeguarded. France has said it's working with other European countries on a plan to respond to any U.S. threat to Greenland. The Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot said the issue would be raised at talks with his German and Polish counterparts today. The White House says President Trump has been discussing options including military force to acquire the self-governing Danish territory, but Mr. Barrot insisted an American military operation was unlikely.
Nous l'avons dit clairement, le Groenland n'est pas.
We have said clearly that Greenland isn't for sale. It belongs to the people of Greenland, and its future will be decided in agreement between the authorities in Greenland and Denmark. I myself was on the phone yesterday with the US Secretary of State, and he confirmed that this was not the approach being taken by the United States.
A new report by the UN Human Rights Office says what it calls Israel's systematic discrimination against Palestinians in the occupied West Bank has been intensifying. The UN Human Rights Chief Volker Turk described the situation as a particularly severe form of racial segregation.
Israel is violating international law requiring states to prohibit and eradicate racial segregation and apartheid. Every negative trend documented in the report has not only continued but accelerated. And every day that this is allowed to continue, consequences worsen for Palestinians.
This is the World News from the BBC. Syrian government forces are reported to have begun an attack on 2 Kurdish-majority districts in Aleppo. Journalists in the city say the army began shelling the areas after giving local residents several hours to leave. In the past 2 days, there have been clashes between government forces and the Kurdish-led SDF, which controls a substantial part of northeast Syria. President Putin has praised his soldiers as holy warriors defending the motherland. Speaking after an Orthodox Christmas church service outside Moscow, he said Russians regarded their soldiers as carrying out a holy mission, as if at God's request.
We very often call the Lord the Saviour because he somehow came to earth in order to save all people. And the warriors of Russia likewise, as if by the Lord's commission, carry out this very mission, the defence of the fatherland, the salvation of the motherland and its people.
It's been almost 4 years since Russia began its full-scale invasion of Ukraine. On Tuesday, Ukraine's allies reached agreement at talks in Paris on peace proposals for Washington to put to Russia, including security guarantees. A British man who sold chemicals online to help people kill themselves has been jailed for 14 years. Miles Cross admitted sending a fatal chemical between August and September 2024 to 4 people he had met online. 2 died as a result of his actions. Power is gradually being restored to homes and businesses in the southwest of Berlin. About 100,000 people in the German capital had been left in freezing conditions without electricity since Saturday. The outage was caused by a suspected arson attack on cables near a local power station. The far-left militant Volcano Group has claimed responsibility, saying its target was the fossil fuel industry. BBC News.
Hello there, I'm Charles Gitonga with Focus on Africa. Burkina Faso's government links Ivory Coast and a former military leader to a coup plot which was set to unfold last weekend.
On January 3rd, 2026, at 11 p.m., a plan was in place to destabilize the country. This was to be carried out through a series of targeted assassinations of civilian and military authorities, beginning with the neutralization of Comrade Captain Ibrahim Traore, head of state, president of Faso, either at point-blank range or by an operation to mine his residence.
But why have there been at least 3 such attempts since Captain Traore seized power in 2022? And do you know how to spot a deepfake video or image made with AI? In Uganda, the use of AI-generated images is getting authorities worried as they head towards another election.
This particular image was of Bobby Wine kissing another woman, call her a side chick in this portrayal, and there's a lot of people who were triggered by it. If you go through the comment section, a lot of people were rude to this candidate, they were abusive, they were triggered. Many people were saying, oh, this was my candidate, but no more, you know.
It's Wednesday, January 7th.
On January 3rd, 2026, at 11 p.m., a plan was in place to destabilize the country. This was to be carried out through a series of targeted assassinations of civilian and military authorities, beginning with the neutralization of Comrade Captain Ibrahim Traore, head of state, president of Faso, either at point-blank range or by an operation to mine his residence.
That's the voice of Burkina Faso's Security Minister, Mahamadou Sana, speaking in a late-night broadcast on Tuesday. He is announcing that the military government has foiled an attempt to kill its leader, Captain Traore, and take over the leadership of the West African country. In the broadcast, the minister shared a leaked military-style video showing soldiers allegedly preparing to assassinate the president just after 11 p.m. local time on Saturday, before targeting other senior military and civilian figures. And the person said to be behind the plot was a familiar rival.
The actors involved, for reasons of confidentiality and to avoid compromising the effectiveness of the investigations, we have named only the main actor. He is former Lieutenant Colonel Paul Henry Sandago Damiba. His key mission was to design and plan the actions, to seek and mobilize funds, and to recruit civilians and military personnel. Emphasize that a large portion of the funding comes from Cote d'Ivoire, whose most recent operation amounts to 70 million West African franc. So, I would like to point out that the arrests are ongoing, as is the dismantling of the networks. This is an opportunity for me to commend and acknowledge the highly commendable work of the intelligence services. Thanks to their professionalism, Burkina Faso has, for the upteenth time, foiled attempts at destabilization.
Lieutenant Colonel Paul Henry Damiba was overthrown by Captain Traore in September 2022 in a similar military fashion. Damiba himself came to power through a military takeover, ousting democratically elected President Roch-Marc Christian Kabore. Since he was removed from office after less than a year in charge, Burkina Faso has faced at least 2 failed coup attempts and continued jihadist violence that has displaced millions across the region. In the capital, Ouagadougou, residents have been expressing concern.
How the people of Burkina Faso reacting of this new in major city like Ouagadougou and Bobo-Dioulasso, there were reports of tension and security alert during the night when the plot was saying to enthrall. The people on edge and a strong military presence online in some neighborhoods. Some civilian society group and citizens took to the street to show support to the government. And on social media, we had a lot of commentary reflect both support for the president leadership.
Now let's try and understand what happened over the weekend. The BBC's Chris Ewoko is following the story.
Over the weekend, there had been tension in Ouagadougou. We saw supporters of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the junta leader, having a kind of protest or solidarity march around his presidential palace, insisting that he remains their president. And then there were now reports and rumors of attempted coup at the time. There were also reports that some soldiers were being arrested. Not only soldiers, but including some civilians. But it remained more like a rumor or reports, unconfirmed reports, not until on Tuesday night when the Defense Minister Mamadou Nsana held a broadcast on national television. And there he issued a statement releasing a video allegedly of soldiers planning to assassinate Captain Traoré.
These are very serious allegations that have been made, a plot to not just overthrow Ibrahim Traoré, but also to assassinate him. And it has been announced that this man, Lieutenant Colonel Paul Henry Damiba, is behind the attempt. Who is he?
Lieutenant Paul Henry Damiba was former military junta leader in Burkina Faso. In fact, he was overthrown by Captain Traoré in September 2022. Before then, he had held sway as the leader of the country after also overthrowing elected President Kabouré at the time. He is now in exile in Togo, and he is now the one being accused of mobilizing soldiers and civilian supporters to try to not just overthrow Ibrahim Traoré, but to also assassinate him alongside some names that were not listed. In fact, the allegation from Defense Minister Sana was that Lieutenant Colonel Henry Damiba got funding, external funding from foreign sources, which was wired through Ivory Coast up to the tune of about 70 million CFA francs. So these allegations actually at the moment, Damiba has not yet commented on it. We have heard in the past, too, of Burkina Faso pointing accusing fingers at neighboring Côte d'Ivoire, that's Ivory Coast, also alleging that the country is supporting opposition personalities and figures to destabilize the government in Ouagadougou. But this, even Ivory Coast, is yet to comment on the incident.
So what are the people then saying in the country? Because you said there was a march in solidarity with Traoré, over the weekend. Is majority of the country pretty much behind him and his leadership?
You know what happens in a military regime? Sometimes you have people who they may be in the opposition but cannot speak, because speaking up means that you could be arrested. There could be a crackdown on such dissenting or opposition voices. We've seen a situation in the past when the junta had tried to recruit people, including lawyers, who criticized the way the junta was fighting insecurity, trying to send them into the front line. So people are very scared. But Traoré has some supporters in Burkina Faso, and many of them have gathered and protested or marched in solidarity with the government. They have continued also to be very vocal on social media, castigating perceived enemies of the government, alleging a lot of misdeeds, which appears to give some form of indication that he has a large following and support at the home base.
But also, this is not the first time that the junta has announced a foiled coup attempt, is it?
As a matter of fact, this is not the first time. We have seen situations where the government had alleged that there were some coups. In fact, 2, as a matter of fact, in the last couple of months. And so this time around, analysts are seeing it not necessarily as a kind of scaremongering, but are saying that they need strong evidence from the government to suggest that what they are alleging is correct.
I see. So why is the name of Ivory Coast just popping up in this conversation?
Basically, Ivory Coast is the next door neighbor, so to speak, of Burkina Faso. They share common boundaries, and some very key personalities, including former ministers who ran into exile, who didn't go to France, some of them in Ivory Coast. And so this is not the first time, but over time, Burkina Faso continued to point accusing fingers at its neighbor, Ivory Coast, and also saying that it's giving people who oppose the government not just protection and shelter, but support to try to attack and destabilize the government.
Okay. And has that affected the ties between these two countries?
Yes. As a matter of fact, there is tension and friction in the diplomatic relationship between Ivory Coast and Burkina Faso as a result of these allegations.
The BBC's Chris Ewokor. This is Focus on Africa from the BBC World Service. Up next, we talk about fake AI images and elections. How sure are you that an image or video you come across online is real? How do you verify it? At the risk of sounding older than I am, I sometimes think of simpler times when the only fake images you saw were amateurish Photoshop attempts easily spotted. But today, the world of misinformation is much more sophisticated thanks to AI. UNESCO reports that the generative AI market is projected to grow by 560% between 2025 and 2031. With that growth comes the higher chance of fraud through deep fakes. The report states further that experts identified 37% voice deepfakes and 29% video deepfakes in data gathered. Nowadays, people are using deepfakes to impersonate voices to defraud victims of money and manipulate public opinion through fake pictures and videos. It's that second category we are discussing today, particularly when it comes to elections. In Uganda, for instance, the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance has observed a rise in the use of deep fakes in an attempt to sway public opinion. As the country heads to the polls in a matter of days, they are urging political actors to be ethical in campaigning. My colleague Bella Twine had a look at some of the deepfake images that have been circulated in relation to the election. We had a chat about how she spotted they were fake.
So there's a couple of images online that are AI generated, both aiming at the opposition and the ruling party. So this particular image was of Bobi Wine kissing another woman, call her a side chick in this portrayal, and there's a lot of people who were triggered by it. If you go through the comment section, a lot of people were rude to this candidate, they were abusive, they were triggered. Many people were saying, oh, this was my candidate, but no more, you know. You'll see quite a lot of that in a lot of videos and images that are circulating on social media. But in fact, if you do a couple of research, you'll find that this picture was taken in a different angle, but then someone went and used it, made it seem as though these people were close and, you know, kissing, and it actually made it to some vlogs and blogs, and people actually wrote about it. Journalists wrote about this.
Right.
So it was very disturbing to see.
So the woman involved in this picture, is she also a prominent political figure in the country, or who is she?
So she's up and coming because she joined Bobi Wine's political party in 2025 in June. And at that ceremony where she was being inaugurated is when this picture was taken. So she was shaking his hand and giving him a side hug, and that is how this image was taken. So if you see the entire YouTube video that is showing, and then the pictures that are being put on clickbaity TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, they're so different from what actually happened during the event. So she's called Olive Namazi, and she's just joined that political party.
So what kind of impact is that having to the candidates and the people in the election in Uganda?
Image is very important for political figures. First of all, you have to show a certain form of stability. As a man, you have to have a wife, probably. And women want to see that kind of stability. If they're female voters, they want to see, or you can manage your household. Same as men, I think. They want to see that you are a responsible person and you're married and you can, handle certain things. When something like this is portrayed, where he's kissing another woman, being unfaithful, then what does that say about his personality or his character as a human being? Can we trust you with power? Can we give you this seat as president? If so, if you get to power, can we trust that you will be as faithful to us?
Yeah, so whoever is doing this has an agenda then. They know it's going to sway the conversation.
Yes, exactly. And there's like a couple of accounts online that you will find. They're not who they say they are. So I could have a different pseudonym. My profile picture is different. How I portray myself is not actually who I am in real life. I could be a man, but I'm portraying myself as a woman on social media. And I am sending all these messages and vice versa because of perception. Because if you believe that this is factual, this is coming from so-and-so who is prominent on social media, they have a couple of followers, then it must be true.
I remember sometime in 2025 watching this video of President of Uganda, Yoweri Museveni, and in the video he was saying that this was going to be the last time he was going to be running for the presidency. Now, if you followed the politics of Uganda, that kind of statement is very heavy because there are concerns about how long he has stayed in power to begin with, several decades. But turns out it wasn't true, was it?
No, it was not true. Mm-hmm. So if you look at the video, you could think it is actually true because it is him. His mouth is moving. His mouth is saying these things. But then you would see that there are certain features of his face that are distorted or that are shiny. His face is plastic. You can't entirely tell if it is a real human being or this video has been manipulated. So when I looked at that video, I thought it was true at first because the moment he made that speech, a lot of people were actually looking for the snippets, the clips, and that was the most highlighted video. And a lot of people actually watched that and believed that that would be true. And so I would find my Tanzanian friends or Kenyan friends and they'd say, is it true that Museveni is vying for the last time? And I was triggered. I was like, are you sure? Because there's a lot of Ugandans who have not known any other president. They've been born under his regime. All they know is the president of Uganda now, Yoweri Museveni. So them hearing this statement, the millennials, they know that this is such a huge deal.
Yeah. I am tempted to say that you've also not known another president of Uganda. You come from Uganda.
I haven't known any other, so...
Did the president or his party or anybody from government respond to this video?
I haven't seen any official accounts of the government saying this is false. Of course, there's other videos or images that they will highlight and say this is false, this is true. But also as my own research, I went ahead to use Deepware, which is a tool that you can use, or even Google reverse search. You can use other software to just see if this is actually true or false, especially information that is triggering, information that makes you get to the extremes of certain emotions, either anger or happiness or joy. It can be questionable. So what bits of that video make it AI and what make it human? So it was his video, but the audio had been tampered with. So the audio had been made to sound like it was him saying this, but things were just put together to make it sound like he was saying these things, but he wasn't.
Yeah. And honestly, that's one of the things I find quite depressing about being online nowadays, because you'll come across so many videos of something you might be interested in, but then just from watching it, you start to question whether this happened or not. But how do you actually go about verifying this, if you could take us step by step in terms of just finding out whether a video is authentic or not?
First of all, I would just say that as human beings, as our social media algorithm portrays, we have certain interests. So it could be politics, it could be food, it could be personalities, whatever fits your personality online. And so that algorithm will push you to these communities, which I like to call echo chambers, of people that have the same belief system as you. So whether these things are true or false, it doesn't matter as long as you believe in these things. So you'll find yourself in a community of people who are pushing for information that sometimes gets to the extreme. And if you do not know how to find a balance of knowing what is true and what is false, that is where the danger lies. Because it's easy for you to now send it to a WhatsApp group or your family, telling them, oh, be careful about this. Yeah. One of the ways that you can verify information is if you see an image that you are not so certain about, or that gives you those emotions at the extremes, first pause and then ask yourself why you're seeing this, what the sender intended for you to feel, for you to see or hear. And then there's other tools that you can use in order to verify this information. But first, you have to be vigilant, or you have to be alert that not everybody is who they say they are on social media. So there's Deepware. There's a software called Deepware. You can just go there, Google it, put the video in there. It will show you what percentage of AI this video is. And if it's just an image, say, of Bobby Wine kissing another woman, you just have to have a screenshot of that image, run it through image reverse search on Google. I mean, if you look at that Google search button, there's a picture image there. So just put the picture there and then search for other places where this picture could have appeared. And definitely you will see. There's other people, of course, who have posted the misinformation, but you'll find the real footage or the real image.
Going back to the election in Uganda, have you seen other doctored images?
I will give one particular one that stands out, and that is also a build-up or why people think Besigye, one of the leaders of opposition, is currently in jail. When he had been arrested from Kenya, a week later, a video surfaced online. It was a video of his image, and he was sitting next to Bobby Wine, but the audio on there, it was circulating on Twitter, and it's like a leaked conversation between him and Western powers, saying how he had plans to bomb the president's jet. And besides that, he was looking to acquire weaponry, he was looking to acquire extra help from the West, sort of, to help him with this plan. He also talked about Bobby Wine and how he thinks he is a weak candidate and he won't, bring progress to the country. Yeah. He's saying a lot of claims in this audio. I verified this audio. It was 73% deepfake generated. One of the things that I did is I spoke to one of his lawyers. They're actually twins. One is called Kato and the other is called Kakuru. And one of the things that they mentioned is these videos are actually halting the progress in the case, because this could actually be brought into court or it could be used against them. And even though it's false, they could find ways of, because there's not entirely a fair justice system in the country. So it's very easy to use this information to stall.
Thanks to the BBC's Bella Twine. And that's Focus on Africa today. Remember to share your thoughts about the program or even suggest stories you'd like to hear us cover. Our WhatsApp number is +44 78 42 61 77 66, or get in touch via social media at BBC Africa. Our email address is focusonafrica@bbc.co.uk. This episode was produced by Ayuba Ilia and Blessing Aderoba in Lagos. Kiganse Shumba and Bella Twine are here in Nairobi. The senior journalist in charge was Daniel Dazi, and Terry Chege was the technical producer. Our editors are Samuel Murunga and Mariam Abdallah. I'm Charles Gitonga, and we'll speak again next time.
Mm.